Hello.
Hello, what's happening? Okay. I pressed the button and pressed it again. I don't know. Is it flash?
No.
Oh, it flashed record, then I pressed it again. Okay. Sorry for this technical difficulties going on, but
Can you hear me? All right. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Replay DK, joined by Jobsyvet here. In this game between the Sacramento State Hornets and UM Varsity, everything was working fine before we pressed play. So we see Sacramento State first pick that Caitlyn, showing a lot of priority to that, and we see a ban from Sac State on Zeri, Victor, and Vigar. Take that Zeri away from Jebby because he is a menace on it, and target ban high because he's our highest elo performer. We see an Ashe pickup and a Renata bot lane locked in for the UMT. We're gonna get close.
yeah. Okay.
What up? What up?
Okay.
And they over the Teemo. Would love to see. Hope they pick it. Come on. Yeah, didn't think so. Hecarim is the pick, really high in the meta right now. Strong performer, great champion, brings a lot of tempo, and they're gonna pick up the Morgana. Caitlyn Morgana, always a strong lane. Indubitably, it really do be like that. A lot of CC provided by that Morgana. UMT covering right here. The double Dean had me at 10-10. Was there two of me, Sam? Was there? Is there still two of me? Or did you mute one? Okay. Cracking. UMT elected to pick up the Volibear. Really solid jungle pick for Jet Jaguar there. One of his classics.
The first of many
Here at UMT, we always like the saying, feed the bear. So we're going to be looking to get that volley ahead and in turn to this game. Plugged in. It's, you know. Second round of bans here. We see a Shen ban. Old Kinderhook, definitely a menace on that Shen as well. Test, 1, 2, 3. Pretty good. Garen ban coming from UMT as well as an Irelia. Both teams kind of taking away some potential top lane picks. And we're going to see the final ban in this best of 3. Sacramento State Hornets, right? Yeah, Sacramento State Hornets. Varsity Grizzly Squad. Unplugging. I should have done that. I should have unplugged it back in. Yeah.
Brightened your day.
No, it was working before.
How's everyone doing today? Take breakfast.
How's it going, the Tesseract? Ryan is doing funny things. Two of you. Yeah, excited to see the Renata pickup. All right, test. Blinking. I button. How's that? Still nothing. All right, whatever. Great feedback. We're gonna retire that mic and the caster cam. A Kali pickup. This could be flex for mid or top, since UMT is holding on to that final pick. We're going to see the last picks from Sacramento State here shortly. Once they decide, Kled, interesting, taking that away from Old Kinderhook. Unfortunately for them, being a last season, one trick. Old Kinderhook is going to know the perfect counter to that. And they could flex this Akali pick in the mid lane. Final pick here. Force Sacrifice State. Cover the Vex. Seems like a solid pickup here. In teams of initiation currently, I think Sac State has the upper hand, though UMT has a lot of pick potential with that Ash commit, with that volley, and the Akali bars, right? And they have good disengage with the Renata Glass Gold. You know, I think it's kind of interesting. Riot releases a new champ, and she's one of the only ones with a true last name. I think Xin Zhao was the other one, and I can't think of any others. Can you? And we do see, sorry, Brandon. We do see a final Warwick pick for Old Kinderhook here in the top lane. Anything that can kind of brawl a Kled is going to do pretty well, especially with lethal tempo being so efficient on Warwick. Should be able to 1v1 that Kled pretty well. Unfortunately, Riot loves their spectator delay, so you are going to be joined by myself, Replay DK, and Jobsy Vet while we wait the wonderful 3 minutes of spectator delay. So we're going to fill some time. Jobsy Vet, what'd you have for breakfast this morning?
Oh man, I'm waiting for this for the last few hours. Okay, let me tell you. So I woke up this morning, right?
Yeah.
And I was trying to go to the food zoo, and I'm like, you know what? Nah, I'm too lazy.
There it is.
I'm gonna go to a nice UN market. Got a nice bottle of orange juice and a croissant. And I came up here and played for the last 4 hours.
Oh my goodness.
Waiting. Yep.
Awesome. I will say, orange juice slaps.
Yes.
I haven't had any orange juice in a hot minute. Probably a little bit low on vitamin C. Yeah, vitamin C. But I think I'll be all right for the time being. Thank you guys for joining us. Once again, thank the Innovation Factory for hosting us in their building. We have a couple new sequences that we're going to be trying out in preparation for March 6th. If you haven't heard, March 6th is next, what is it, Saturday? Sunday. March 6th is next Sunday, and they're going to be busing about 30 members of the MSU esports program, and it will be held here live in the third floor UC ballroom. Just you guys should definitely come down if you're not planning to already.
Yeah, I'm gonna be there. Are you gonna be there?
I am not gonna be there, unfortunately. Being part of the National Guard, I do have to do my weekend warrior drill. Wow, what a burn on stream.
We planned this like when you left.
All right. That's pretty good. Well played. Let's get back into the game of League of Legends here. I think in terms of comp-wise, I see if UMT, it's kind of whichever team gets the tempo advantage is really going to run away with it, as I guess most League of Legends games do. But especially in this instance, we're going to see how Volibear is able to match tempo with Hecarim when it comes down to ganking lanes. I think the bot lane for UMT is definitely scaling. They want to get that level 6 before they really fight, since Caitlyn and Morgana are so strong. In the mid lane between Akali and Vex, I expect like Jet Jaguar to roam mid pretty frequently, trying to get at that Vex. We're likely to see a flash trade within the first 5 minutes, I would say. And then top lane it's an island, but definitely being a highly volatile melee matchup. We're going to see both junglers kind of push to get up there.
This could really go any way, yeah. I can see how it's going to turn out.
I'm excited, definitely. And I'm really glad that Sam did have some orange juice just before hopping on the stream. Orange juice truly does slap. I can't even remember the last time I had orange juice.
I don't think I've had like one since I came out here. Like today was it. Like last time I had it when I was like back home in Jersey.
That's a good day. Looks like the spectator delay has finally come to an end. Thank you for joining us. Once we load in, we're going to see some high-level spectator gameplay. Ryan and Kate will be working the spectator function, and they're going to do a great job.
We're going to rely on them a lot. We're going to call them a lot for this.
All right, here it goes. Hold on.
Working.
There it is.
Working.
Look at
Yeah,
it.
look at
Beautiful. That. Look at this. Ryan put this together. Looks so great. Kate, follow. There it is. And we see the UMT squad heading down towards the river while the Hornets are just doing a simple 5-point. They're going to get spotted. Did they get spotted by the Morgana there? Have to, right?
They must have. There's no way.
Morgana is sitting here. She must not know. She would be throwing stuff in this bush if she did. So UMT has a little bit of a surprise advantage. They're maybe making a plan right now. Oh, nope. All right. They said, well, never mind. Into a Morgana. It's a bold invade. But you love to see it.
Yeah, the Morgana might have been waiting for them to come out and try to attack them.
Definitely wanting some procs on that Spell Thief's Edge. I don't know. I think if I was in that spot, I would just throw the Q, get the free 20 gold, and call it a.
Yeah.
We'll see. So we see Hecarim actually electing to start on the blue. That's so he can get down to that bot lane ASAP, since that is his strong side, Caitlyn Morgana being so strong early on in comparison to the Ashe Renata. Minions meet in the mid lane, and the junglers take their leashes. I think UMT should figure out where the Hecarim started based on bot lane's presence in the lane.
Yeah, because Hecarim's definitely going to be a big issue later. I definitely can tell from experience just like how fast and all that. So getting ganked by him is a big trouble.
Big trade onto Jebby there. Big chunk of his health goes down. A little bit of gold for the Morgana. She's stepping up as well. Doesn't hit that second Q. And we're going to see both junglers finish this first sector relatively at the same speed. Pretty close there. Hecarim's in the same situation. Yep, just finishing up both wolves. And just some good old classic jungle clear League of Legends. Clean open. Hecarim a little bit ahead, but he does have a little bit faster clear than the Volibear. With Warwick pushed up as far as he is, I don't think Jet Jaguar is going to be able to really capitalize once he hits that first scuttle. And it's the same situation in the bot lane. The Morgana Caitlyn are pushed, so it's going to be hard for the Hecarim to gank. With the God view we have, it'd be great to be able to tell Austin, hey, full clear. But unfortunately, we cannot do so. Big root lands. Massive damage.
But
shots, Garrett getting slapped. Nayunara, both supports almost dead, and they limp away. Jebby and Venti gonna pick up some much needed solo XP. Actually, the Morgana's still there, really trying to crash this wave so they can both reset. Jebby has to stay for that wave. Big roam down from old Kinderhook, but looks like the Vex saw it coming. And she backed up, respecting the Warwick rotation. Both junglers going to trade scuttles here. The Hecarim, since he does clear a little bit faster, gets that full clear off. Jet Jaguar, looking at this top lane, big wave means the top lane is going to push. We see him waiting patiently in the bush. The bear getting hungry, excited, mouth foaming, savoring at the thought. The Kled steps up into the trade, flees the Kled. The stun comes down, volley E lands, dismount from the Kled. A lot of trade damage. There's the dive. First blood goes to old Kinderhook.
Nice.
Absolutely great patience from Jet Jaguar there to just kind of wait in that brush for the right moment. Jebby about a little bit under half health here. He's definitely, if Morgana can hit a Q onto Jebby, it's going to be a whole lot of damage. Nayunara does receive that Q, and she feels the chunk. Ooh, I think that one hit Jebby. Whole lot of damage. Hyde getting, takes the tower proc, doesn't quite win that trade. Vex has the fear available. She could look to get aggressive, but it's never a great idea to get aggressive into an Akali. Always that shroud potential and solid disengage. Old Kinderhook finally crashes this wave, and he's going to back and get a pretty nice power spike when he returns to lane. I do like that he took barrier. It means he can kind of fight the Kled whenever. If they either A, have vision on the Hecarim, or they just kind of have a general knowledge of his whereabouts via jungle tracking. If you guys aren't a jungle one trick like I am, right? It's essentially when you can count the jungler's CS and assume which way he is pathing, either up or down, based on where they started, since the camps respawn in that manner. Dragon is available, and Sac State currently has the bot lane push. Whole lot of pings. They see the Volibear in this bot lane. A lot of pings going on this drag. Jet Jaguar going to clear out some vision, and good chance we're going to see a 3v3 here. The Hecarim is in the area. Jet Jaguar wants to get this scuttle, but he knows the Hecarim's down there. He's playing towards the mid lane. Drops the stun. He's going to do this as fast as possible. Hecarim might look for the steal. Here he comes. Ease into it. Towards the Volibear. Hyde has slight mid prio. Jet Jaguar is just going to smite the scuttle and walk to mid lane for safety. We're looking at a 2v2 situation, but Morgana is walking up in the river. E from the Hecarim. Hyde has to pop his shroud. Hits the E. Does he want to commit? Does he want to commit? Does not. Kled is in the river. Would have been a 2v4. Good disengage by the UMT squad. Whole lot of time wasted. I wouldn't even say wasted. They are going straight into the jungle, doing the Hecarim thing. Kled clicks R onto Jet Jaguar. He has to flash away. Vex misses the ultimate, and they get a Raptor camp in return. Sac State, good early aggression. UMT has a slight gold lead based off of that first blood. I think it's just about 300 gold. How much gold does first blood give? Is it 500 total?
400.
400, all right. Thank you, Ryan. He threw up the 4. Garrett hits the spell shield. Q onto Neunara. Glacial Augment is such a good rune.
Right under the tower.
Oh my goodness. That is unfortunate. That's the power of that Caitlyn Morgana. Whole lot of damage and a whole lot of CC. Holy moly. Jebby. Likely getting pretty close to that 6. Jet Jaguar is in the area. The bush isn't warded. Here comes Jet Jaguar. No ultimate available. Morgana does have the spell shield. Here's the E. Flash from Jebby. Whole lot of damage going on to this Morgana. She's almost dead. Jet Jaguar is still alive. He's limpid. He says, kill the Venti. Kill the Venti. Oh. Jebby hits 6. Hits the ultimate onto Venti. And Venti goes down. Hecarim looking in the area. He knows that Ashe doesn't have flash, and he just backs down. Here we go in the mid laner perspective. In the mid lane. We're in the mid lane now. This is the mid lane. CS, a little bit of about 11 advantage for Hyde. Vex going to pick up a couple right here. Nothing too crazy in this mid lane. We can expect the Vex to want to scale and just get those items. Hyde going to be looking to start making rotations here shortly, since he does have that Ignite ultimate. Or just the 1v1 on the Vex, either way. But in this matchup, Vex can play pretty safe. We see old Kinderhook kind of roam down. He has the ultimate. He sees in range of the ultimate. Is he going to pop it? Fear available. Does not decide to pop the ultimate there. Volley's in the area, and so is Neunara. Dragon is up. Hecarim now with 6, kind of hovering mid. They don't know they're in the bush. Whoa, Vex drops the ward. Here comes Jet Jaguar with the Volibear ultimate. Doesn't quite connect. Oh, I didn't see old Kinderhook use his ult there either. Jebby gets hit by the Morgana Q, and here comes the mass amount of damage. Oh, what a combo. 100 to 0. Jebby goes down. Morgana hitting 1 Q is a death sentence for this bottom lane currently. Neunara not quite 6. Hecarim in the area. They're looking to dive. Organic Q doesn't quite hit. Whole lot of damage though, and Neunara is going to fall down to Venti, who's now 4-1 with a CS lead, and is now going to get some more gold from Tower's old Kinderhook. Fighting in to Justin here. Is that Justin? Yeah, Justin. A little bit of trading. Ooh, big Ashe arrow onto the Vex. Hyde doing that amount of burst damage. Vex has the flee though. Big ultimate, gets the Vex flash. Whole lot of priority there. for mid lane. UMT is pinging Dragon. Now with Vex dead, they definitely want to force this. Bot lane's reset. They have vision on the Hecarim. Hecarim kites down to the bot lane. He's still in the midst of the fight. Spell shield, unstoppable. Hecarim ults away, but a whole lot of damage onto Jet Jaguar. He's gonna have to fight to survive, but he's not gonna make it out of there. Old Kinderhook. Oh, almost takes the Kled.
So close.
Both top laners about 2 autos away from death.
That's how top lane goes.
This do be the top lane. Old Kinderhook almost gets the Q. Hyde onto the Garrett. Has to pop stopwatch. Ignites ticking. Hyde gets the kill on Garrett. He wants more, though. Sacramento State disengages pretty well there. And I don't think either top laner got a kill on the other. The Kled did reset, so he's back now. He TP'd back up. Old Kinderhook's kind of in a bad spot here. He knows it. He starts up the fear. Cancels the E stun from the Kled. Good use of that fear. Old Kinderhook gets the disengage. So, Dragon's still up. It's 11 minutes. Gold lead, slight favor of Sac State. Mostly funneled onto Venti here. He's going to be doing a lot of damage in these team fights. He's completed the Gale Force. So he is absolutely lethal. And Sac State is going to shove this bot wave and likely look to get Hecarim down here after he finishes his clear and get priority for that dragon, which we'll see here shortly. Hyde's shoving out this mid lane, trying to get Prio so he can respond to this drag. Vex wave clear is actually really good. Nayunara and Hyde walking in the jungle, clear some vision up as they want to contest this dragon, but Jet Jaguar's in the top lane, and this bot tower is gonna fall. First turret gold goes down. Nayunara and Hyde kind of pincered here. They're seen out. Hecarim R right on to Nayunara. Nayunara goes down. Venti's dealing so much damage. Hyde has to disengage. Jebby's getting poked over the wall. Jebby goes down. That's a double kill for Venti. That's so much damage. And Sac State is going to take this dragon. Can they hear that on the... No, I don't know. Oh my Cheche, indeed. First dragon falls to Sac State. And they continue to increase this gold lead. I actually thought the Warwick would be able to fight the Kled a little bit better, but Kled does seem pretty strong. Ooh, Jet Jaguar gets hit by the Morgana Q. Venti's doing a lot of damage. Gets rooted again. Has to unstoppable ultimate out of there. But Branch says, no, come back here. Disengages slightly. Hyde in a tough spot. 4v1. He's fleeing. He has to shroud. Ults onto the Vex to get away. Caitlyn R. Oh, it doesn't quite kill him. Oh, he limps away. 10 HP. Let's go. Hyde just barely making it out of there. But Sacramento State is not going to stop there. They have the tempo. They have the mid push. They're going to try to take this tower. Old Kinderhook with ultimate and barrier available. Down to 2 plates. Rift is up. Bramo starting that Rift Herald, but he decides not to. We see Old Kinderhook behind under the tower. Big ultimate onto the Kled. Justin, 1 HP, doesn't get the dismount, or the remount, excuse me. And Old Kinderhook's going to go down, down to Bamo. Looking a little bit hard for UMT to... let's see here. What's UMT's game plan right now? 14 minutes.
Hard to really decide. Yeah, things aren't really turning out well for them. Mid tower seems to be almost about to go down next too.
I think the biggest thing is they just got to get that shutdown on Venti. That's huge. It'd be ideal to get that shutdown for Hyde. He has enough burst to kill the Caitlyn, but if Venti has flash exhaust and a rapid fire cannon second item, that's going to be really hard for UMT to deal with. We're going to need to see a Class A Renata ult and Caitlyn blow up the Morgana. That's what we're hoping for. Jet Jaguar, maybe a little bit out of line with this rift. Justin's walking down, but he doesn't even check the pit. They don't even think it's possible for Jet to be in here, but he sure is. Oh, he's getting trapped by the wall. Oh, no. Old Kinderhook doing his best to keep that freeze up. Jet Jaguar is going to sneak this rift. Good value, especially because UMT gets those objective bounties. A whole lot of gold being able to funnel. And this rift is likely going to turn into a tower if UMT can win a fight. We see Venti and Garrett in the mid lane. Nayunara stepping a little bit out, going to get spotted out by this Morgana ward. She knows she's in a bad spot, so she backs up. Very nice. And this second tower, mid lane, is going to fall. Old Kinderhook with the fear on it. Justin doesn't reach. Not quite. They're getting rotated on. TP onto the top lane tower. Bot lane is rotating up through the river. Khaled ult popped. Here comes the Hecarim. Here comes the Vex. Oh my goodness, they're so fast. They're looking to dive. Jet Jaguar has to flash. The double Everfrost. Jet Jaguar goes down. Old Kinderhook's fighting for his life, but he goes down as well. 5-man dive in the top lane. Hyde's going to push that bottom. And I think we want to get a replay on that dive from Sac State right here. Here we are. We see the absolutely massive rotation from all 5 of the Sacramento State Hornets and just obliterate these 2 UMT varsity players. Whole lot of damage. Back to the live feed. The Sac State Hornets did take that tier 2. Rift still available, and Hyde gonna get another objective bounty for UMT. And we see Justin here answering Hyde. That Kled is getting kind of scary. Finished that Gore Drinker. Looking pretty tanky. Hyde has that Rocket Belt, and that's just about it for him. Volibear picking up that Chem Tank. Old Kinderhook decided to go Bork first. I think that's so he can fight that Kled, kind of just man mode him in a 1v1.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, since he didn't get that Titanic, he's going to have a hard time pushing waves out pretty quick. We see Sac State currently getting vision ready for the dragon that's spawning in 30 seconds. Big, massive root onto Nayunara there, and just Venti damage.
Just melted.
Absolutely melted. I think one shot was about half of Nayunara's HP there. Sac State going to take some Raptors, get that mid prio. Looks like Justin TP'd straight from bot lane to the top lane to catch that wave and stop old Kinderhook's push there. And here goes Sac State. They're going to go take the river by force. They got mid push, so this looks like a pretty free dragon for Sac State. Unfortunately, they're going to clean this up pretty quick. They have UMT's blue side jungle warded, and yep, they know the blue spawn, and they're going to invade right now. Hyde sees him, though. He's kind of hovering. We see pings in the mid lane. They're going to go for this objective bounty, which is good call. Get that rift, get some value on it while they can, and they're going to get, just one charge since the Vex is there. Hexgate portals. Stoked to see some Hexgate play. And now, with Baron spawning in about 2 minutes, we're going to see Sac State really try to force some pressure down here in this bot lane via Justin to set up for that Baron. They're going to get their reset. They all have a lot of gold currently. And see what kind of items they pick up. Looks like Caitlyn's going to go third item, IE. She's going to hit like a truck. Like a Mack truck. Oh, she's almost there. She's got like 400 gold probably for it. Yeah, so close to that IE, which is going to be a massive power spike. Jebby did go shield bow, which it does the trick. Keep him alive so he doesn't just get bursted down from the Caitlyn there. And UMT spread on the map. Don't have that bot lane pushed out. Vex is headed down there to catch that wave and shove it again. And likely set up for the Baron. Garrett's all alone here. But UMT clearing jungle. Not looking to contest that river right now. With the gold deficit being as large as it is, if they take a fight, lose the Baron, and all die, there's a good chance that Sac State's gonna get an inhib pretty quick. We're gonna see what UMT. They're all grouped around mid, looking to be proactive. Venti steps up. Jet Jaguar is here. He has ultimate available. Gets stunned by the Morg Q. Ash Arrow coming out. Spell immune. Oh, it hits Morgana. Jet Jaguar goes down to the Hecarim. Hyde almost dead, but he's in the shroud. Renata ult comes through. stops the Berserk, or Berserks the Hecarim. Vex, ultimate, onto the Warwick. Old Kinderhook has to limp out as well. Hyde really low, fight to survive, but he is not close enough to get that fight. And another Morg Q hits onto Jebby. He has to use that cleanse, and he's going to get run down by the Hecarim here and gets absolutely obliterated with a 493 crit from Venti. And Sacramento State looking to grab this Baron. Good, clean team fight that we are going to have another replay. Right here we see the Hecarim come in and just obliterate that backline. Jet Jaguar goes down, and Hyde is just getting chunked by Venti here. Big Renata ult, but it doesn't catch Venti, who is the main target with that Renata ult. And we can just see this war of attrition is currently being won by the Sac State Hornets as they pick UMT squad off one by one. Neonara and Hyde did have to limp away. In that instance, back to the live feed, we see Sacramento State did pick up that Baron buff. And with Dragon spawning in a minute 40, we're likely going to see them come to this bot wave, shove it out, as well as the mid lane, and just really hold on to that river control. Good, clean League of Legends. They're closing it out really well. What was the average rank of Sac State? You remember, Ryan? D3. These are some League of Legends gamers right here. They're correct. I'm like gold 1. Not to flex or anything. Gold 1 gaming. Hard stuck gold feels bad. Back to the game. We see Sac State in the jungle of UMT, and they're looking to kill Old Kinderhook. So much damage coming out from this Caitlyn. The Gale Force E. And Old Kinderhook goes down to the Caitlyn R. Whole lot of damage. Baron buff, they're going to shred these towers. With Old Kinderhook dead and the Baron, they're likely going to push for inhib here. Hyde getting some good damage onto the Kled. Has to shroud. Oh my goodness, look at this Kled chunk Hyde. Down, dismounted, massive ultimate from Jebby there to get the kill onto Justin. But this bot lane inhib is going to fall on the UMT side. Sac State, oddly enough, they're going to keep pushing this T4. They know Ash Arrow's down. They know Hyde had to reset. They're going to take it. Oh, here comes the Hecarim ultimate onto Jebby. Catches Jebby out. Vex ultimate onto Jebby. He has to fight to die, but he's got not enough time to get that kill. Another Vex ultimate onto Neonara. Down goes Neonara. Down goes Jet Jaguar. Old Kinderhook hits the ultimate, trying to survive. And Hyde goes down as well. GG. Sacramento State is going to take this first game in this best of 3 between Sacramento State Hornets and the UMT Grizzlies. Thank you guys for watching. We are going to go to break here shortly. Jobs, Yvette, you got anything to add?
That definitely was an unfortunate game to see. Definitely just watching Venti just take out everyone's health like 2 hits.
Yeah, absolutely chunking.
Definitely was like the biggest problem there, but there wasn't really much anyone could do at that point. So well fed. 14-1 in the end.
What a KDA.
That is.
All right. Well, Replay DK, Jobs Yvette, we'd like to thank you guys for watching the stream. We're going to head to break, and in about, like 5 minutes, 10 minutes?
Yeah.
10 minutes. We're going to be back for game 2. So make sure you guys go get some snacks. Hydrate up. Make sure you're drinking water. It's important. Thank you guys for watching. We're going to head to break.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.